The unofficial Mashable podcast.
Welcome to the unofficial Mashable podcast for today. My name is David Fay.
I'm Justin Flynn.
And we are coming at ya with a story from tech, which is...
Watch Google Docs videos directly in your browser.
Yeah. Now this is like, at first you might be like, oh, I don't care. But I don't know, we see this as kind of a big deal. Like, this
I sort of saw this. Well, I saw this story originally. I just think I saw it in my Twitter feed and went to the Mashable story, and it just really just expanded ever so slightly on it. Basically, there's nothing much to it besides the fact that Google has now added support to videos in Google Docs, so you can drop. There's quite an extended list of supported formats. Basically, anything that is played on the web now already can pretty much be played.
Okay, so that's interesting in and of itself. So you can retain the original format.
Yeah.
Of the video.
And their WebM codec. That thing about that as well.
So can you do this without transcoding it?
Yeah. So like, for example, our podcast, we make an MP4. We can just dump that straight in, and it'll do up to 1080p.
So already, I guess that gives us a reason why. A lot of people would probably be like, "Well, why would I want this when I can upload something to YouTube? And if I only want to share it with a couple of people, I can set it to private and share it to a couple of people." I think this might be part of it, that you can have your videos retained in their original.
Yeah,
format.
It's just a repository now, I guess.
I mean, it would be like, as us, like, for us kind of doing the whole podcast thing, like a brick wall we've kind of hit on is, there are services like TubeMogul that do stuff like this for you, but kind of how to upload your content in its original format and just get that spread, like, distributed.
I don't think that really
easiest way, but it could do that.
Well, no, what I thought was interesting about this, and where I think, Google Docs could be heading, is like Google Docs could be like, I don't know, like, imagine if you needed a web page, like in a blog style kind of like stream. If Google turned around and said, "Oh, okay, so now you can just start a document, and that document can be a web page."
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like, all right, you can host it on your host, but use almost like a CMS, like WordPress or whatever. It does text. It does text pretty well. It now does video and pictures, slideshows, all sorts of stuff. So imagine if they just turned around and said, "Oh, you can, for you novices out there that want something really super simple," and because even though WordPress is ridiculously easy, there are still people out there that
Tumblr and things are a lot
more straightforward. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting because with this functionality added to it, I don't know. One of the commenters sort of said, "What is it? Let me just." So what does this mean? Oh, here we go. Awesome for small independent film teams, and I think what that means, and it does versioning for you as well.
Really?
So you could update.
That's insane.
Yeah, and you can. I think it's a bit clunky though. Like it, I think it's like if you do the versions, it says here it goes. You can also download previous versions of the file, but you can't view these versions in the player. So you got to download the versions. You can't restore the version. And I guess you could probably restore, but yeah. Anyway, it's interesting.
Well, I think for you and me who are looking ahead with these things, like Google Docs and the Google productivity suite of calendar and docs and Gmail and all these things, we thought we got a glimpse into the future of where this was all heading with Wave.
Yeah.
And now, I guess post-Wave, we're kind of seeing that, they're taking a lot of those little features and implementing them in different places in the Google ecosystem.
Yeah.
But there's something really, my imagination can't come up with where this like there's a strategic reason why they've done this, and like a strategic kind of vision on why you need video.
I don't
in
know
your
about
docs
that.
thing. You don't think so?
No, I don't know if there's necessarily. I'm just sort of more coming from, oh, this could be great. But I reckon, I don't know if there's. See, I'm wary of Google strategy anything because they seem to just do stuff. They're a bunch of nerds
Who just want to do
who
cool
just
stuff.
like, they come up with cool ideas and they go, oh man, and obviously their server, they've gotten another 400 billion servers and they're like, we can now do this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if there's necessarily anything besides it's just like a new feature that would be cool to add in Google Docs. But I'm almost positive that they're going to want you to. I mean, there's in the if you go to the if you search for it and actually go to the Google Docs help, it actually shows you this. And in the sidebar, there's adding docs to a website video.
Yeah, right.
So I reckon they're already kind of like, yeah, you can do this, and this is an easy way to kind of do it. And the file size is it can upload up to a gigabyte footage, video file. So that's still, that's majority of all internet content, I'm sure.
Is under a gigabyte
Yeah.
in movie files, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there is, as I said, there's FLV, AVI, MPEG-GS, I don't know what that is, WMV, MPEG-4, all the stuff, WebM. Like, it's not like, oh, you can only have like
Yeah.
2 codecs that no one ever uses, and
Yeah.
so
From what I was just reading, it will actually like
convert it.
it will. Yeah, it sounds like it'll process it so that you can play it in the play it through the browser.
I wonder how it's doing that.
But
Must be just using YouTube. Oh, it
Converter
looks pretty
thing.
much like YouTube there. So yeah, so that's probably just using YouTube.
but it's pretty cool, I think.
I reckon it's great.
Could you see us using this for anything?
Potentially.
To share like
Edit.
I don't know.
Could be cool to like. Yeah. I don't know. As I said, like I think the coolest application would be if like they super simplified web page creation.
This is an interesting place to start with that though,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like it was like text and then it was pictures and now it's this and then it'll probably be like animations.
Because that would be amazing. Can you imagine like if obviously with Google Sites and stuff.
What's what I'm saying? Like
if the
'cause
back
that's a
end
bit
of
of a
your Google
fail.
Sites was the kind of docs interface.
Because that's Google Sites is a bit.
I remember trying that out like 2 or 3 years ago and just being so totally underwhelmed.
It just reminds me of remember GeoCities? Like everyone could suddenly have this like web page.
Yeah, that was like it kind of missed the point of what was happening at the time. Like people didn't want.
GeoCities was huge, dude.
Yeah, but like in an age where people like looking at WordPress blogs and Tumblr and
Oh, now.
Yeah, like it just kind of missed the mark.
Oh,
again.
as I said, man, I reckon Google is just that funny company that they just throw stuff out, and it's a bit ad hoc.
See if it sticks.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Wave was.
But actually, like for a lot of their stuff, it doesn't seem to stick. Like at least recently, like
I don't know. I know
the Nexus 1 didn't stick, Wave didn't stick,
Yeah,
Buzz didn't stick.
You know what did stick?
Android.
Like
Never heard of it.
yeah, no. Every single, I swear, if you go to any website reporting on CES, like Mashable.com, jeez,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, I guess you can afford to throw stuff out left, right, and center, and if something sticks like that has stuck.
I don't know if it's the best way to do it because I think in doing that you do create a lot of, you get a lot of haters.
Haters be hate.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, that's it for today's episode of the Unofficial Mashable podcast.
It is.
We can be reached at TUMPcast on Twitter, twitter.com/TUMPcast, or via the email address contact@tumpcast.com.
We hope you liked the shorter URL.
I certainly do.
We can't believe we didn't do it from the start.
Well, we actually then were just like, oh yeah, we should just start using TUMPcast, and then we were like, oh, what about Mashcast?
Oh yeah,
And then
there were
but
lots of things.
That's actually like I looked it's
same.
taken on Twitter, it's taken, the domain's taken. So
I have a feeling maybe Mashable.
no, it's not by Mash. Oh, I don't think they'd have a problem with that. I mean, somebody's got Mashcast, and
Yeah, maybe Mashable does.
Plus, we're obviously 100% endorsed by
100%.
Mashable.
All of, you know, like...
Just Pete's having a coffee in the
Yeah,
corner.
Cashmore just like sits there and feeds the stories to tell you.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete.
Hey. Wow.
Anyway, I'm Justin Flynn.
David Fay.
We're out of here.
It's really hot.
It's really hot.
Like, we're sweating and going crazy.
Alright. See you guys. Bye.